Hello. Welcome. Welcome. Oh, okay. Today is going to be, hold on. Today is going to be a short stream because I am feeling a little burnt out from making this game and I need a break. And I didn't want to take a break now because I'm in the middle of finishing this feature out. We got to finish the basic inventory. We got pretty close. We just need to finish. I think we can also squeeze in being able to actually use the item. We're going to say that this item that we have right now, this thing, we're going to call that a health potion. We're going to set up that we can use that health potion. And then I'm going to stop. That is where I will stop the stream. Not a long stream. I already have an idea for how we're going to implement this out because we've already done the logic in the collectible component. Collectible component says we've got a variable inventory component. An inventory component has a similar thing, item slot. So we're tracking what item we have. But we cannot synchronize that item because we cannot synchronize objects. So what we do is we're going to make a string. And then we're going to make some setters. When you set this object, hold on, I'm so spent that I have to look at this to verify how to do the thing that I did yesterday. Copy the collectible component logic. Make a setter that sets the string of the item. I'll go to that. Just go straight up copy. Signal item moved. I should not have put this tail here if I want this signal to be something that's called outside of this function. It does not make any sense to do that. I should fix that. I don't think anything is catching that signal. And if it is, we'll just fix it. Likewise, over here. This is not going to be a scalable solution. We're going to have to figure that out, but we don't have to figure that out yet. I think we can just do that with an array of strings and an array of item slots. Should be fine. Can we synchronize an array? Maybe we can't. Is an array an object? Hold on. RA is array. A built-in. We're good. The synchronizer should be able to synchronize an array. So we just make an array of strings. We synchronize those, and we're good. We're golden. Item slot. We don't need to get parent because did I space out? We don't need to get parent. Not this time. Item slot changed. Maybe we can emit which item slot changed when that happens. If so, it should be fine. Set X. Let me go back to our collectible component. Go ahead and copy that. Um, right. There might be a way to make this more efficient where we say, if the item slot changes, we're setting the item slot name, and we don't set the item slot. We don't change this. But I think this line kind of protects us. So whatever, don't worry about it. Let's just move on, get this working. We go ahead. We're not done, but I'm going to go ahead and add the multiplayer synchronizer. Inventory multiplayer synchronizer. I'm going to rename it to inventory synchronizer. We're going to tell it to synchronize the strings. Can we just... Nope. All right. We probably want to move this function to here. Item param not declared in the current scope. That's okay. We're not calling it item param anymore. We're calling it X. Actually, it occurs to me, this is dumb. We need to make sure that we're doing this in a player's thing. Because we're going to have inventory components that don't belong to the player. But for now, we did it. Problem, why is this here? Did we not set it to... Right, the RPC handler was previously setting that to false, or that to visible, or was it? Target.getParent. We were removing the child. How are we hiding? Okay, yeah, we were calling visible somewhere. Collectible component? Were you doing that? If you're like, here it is, update parent. We need to call that function. No, we don't need to call this function. This function should be internal. When do we call that function? Here? Maybe we should be setting a signal. Did we? No, we already did that. Why is node has one connection? Where is it? Let's connect update parent to it. Yeah. I feel like this is less clear than typing it in the code, but We have two signals now. All right. Click to show signals doc. Where's the other signal? I feel like it's clearer to be in the code and say func or collector change.connect update parent rather than putting it here. Because it's like, well, magic could be happening. Did that do it? Okay, there we go. We've collected the item. Let's multiplayer test that out. We got server, client 0, client 1, okay. Damn it. That shouldn't have gone in that inventory. This is where we check to make sure, hey, only update this if I'm the player. And we have the parent, so we should theoretically be able to do that. Like, if the parent dot name equals get where is it? Where's the function that gives us our ID? Get multiplayer ID. Is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. If that, then add it to there, you add it to your UI. Okay. We can't do that. String name and int, those don't go together. Oh, shoot. Hold on. All right. It's in my inventory, but not anyone else's. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Now I just want to do one more thing. This is too big, but that's a problem I can solve later, someday, when we're not using test things. But I would like this to acknowledge that I'm right-clicking on it. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go to the, because we're only updating the texture. That is still a inventory point. What is this actually? It's a texture rect. It has a signal, GUI input. We can also, like when we're setting this, we can also just write some code here that it tracks what item has been put here. Or do we want to just pass in this whole inventory component, and then we make the inventory component responsible for looking at the, whenever I right click on an item, it goes to the inventory component to see, okay, what am I right clicking on? That might be better. I'm going to need a less placeholder UI to work on this more, because I'm just clicking on a color rect, attached script. UI inventory point. Okay. var item. This, it's not synchronized at all because UIs are unique to you. So we don't have to worry about multiplayer here at all. So we have an item, which is an item. And we're going to instruct the inventory component, not that way. We're going to instruct the inventory component. When you set this, UI node dot set item X. UI item All right. We probably also want like a clear item. Func clear item. Item in inv equals null. I don't know. Does that work? Okay, good. Then we go back to our inventory component and if X else. All right. One more thing. We need to have a GUI event in here. Okay. If event dot this one. If event is an input event mouse button and the event button index is a button mouse right and the event is pressed, then we go item.use. I don't know. We'll call that something better in the future. Let's go to our item. Let's define a function use. Print I've been used. Oh, sorry. Item in inv. All right, I've been used. Right there, we're good. Okay, we're making progress. Let's go to our item. Now, instead of printing this useless thing, we need to have a basically two modes to this. We need to be able to say, if I'm the client and I'm being used, all I get to do is RPC to the server and say, hey, this player is using this item. Great. So let's make that happen. RPC handler, func. I should add some to-dos. Something that we're not doing, that we're not worried about right now, we're not going to do yet, but we will need to worry about it, is if the client calls this function, are they actually allowed to do the thing that they're asking to do? All right, var target equals no, that won't work. We can't just look in main because it's not in. Oh no, it is still in main because we never reparented it. So this will always work forever. Actually, we're geniuses. It's only the component that we're moving around. So we have the item that we are attempting to use to do check if we can use the, check if we are allowed to use the item. We're just going to assume we're allowed to use the item. So what we're going to do is we are going to call target.use. That's an infinite loop. And we could do instead, it occurs to me, this is probably smarter. We'll make this target.use. So the item has a use function. We're not going to call the use function from here. Where's the code that I just, here, instead of that, what we're going to do is we're going to create a new command. And to make that new command, we first need to define the command. We're going to create the use item command. Like all commands, we're just going to copy and paste. Okay. Could I just make the target and the actor? Nope. The actor is always the same. Someone is always performing the command, but I think I can move this to the command and save one line. Oh, I can't do that? Oh, my apologies. That's not how this works. Anyway, we have this use item command. We're going to make it. Something that I want to do, put this in the to-do. I keep doing that. I would like to add an exec function to commands. So instead of putting all of the command execution logic here, I'd like to just move all this into the target move command, move this into the target attack command, move this into the get item command, and then all we have to do to execute the command, whatever it is say command.execute. That I might just do offline because it's very brain dead. It makes this process command function very, very easy. Anyway, we have created this command. Use item command dot new. We're going to pass in the player. We need to get the player. We don't have the player right now. Huh. Item in inf. Dot execute command. What was the, oh, I just lost all my internet. Okay. Process command. So we create this command and then we go into main and we say, we have a new command to worry about. elif command param is use item command. RPC handler dot use item one command param dot target dot name. All right. Oh, sorry. There we go. Now, all we have to do is our item does a thing. It will do this thing on the server because the server is calling this function. That is fine. We can make that server-side behavior. We need to be cognizant when we're making items in the future. Sometimes they'll need to, so we're going to make a healing potion. This is going to be a healing potion. We are going to say, I'm an item. I need to know who owns me. And we have that we have a component who can tell us that. Collectible component dot collector. This gives me an inventory component. That's annoying. I wish it would. I wish I hadn't done that. Can I get the owner of the inventory component? I can. I have the parent. So that's annoying, but fine. The collector tracks which inventory component holds it. I wish I hadn't done that. Is it too late to change that? Can I change that real quick? It would be smarter if this was a It would be easier for me if this was a thing that had an inventory component rather than the inventory component itself. Where are we setting this? Where is collector being set? So the inventory component is doing that. I mean, we can say parent instead of self here. A collectible component is being set here, but we can just adjust that. Is it only being set here? Where are we setting a collectible component outside of the inventory component? That maybe this is it. All right, so we'll just parent. This is not an inventory component anymore. No. Let's leave it like this. But I would like to change the name of this. Collector component. No, that's a dumb name. I don't like the idea of this being untyped, but I guess it's not actually a big deal. It's not actually a big deal. I should just suck it up. Parent. Wait. Actually, it's more useful to be pointing at the inventory component because that's where the item is. Because if I'm targeting the collector, I'm just going to have to get the inventory component. No. It's fine. Talk myself. Okay, collector is. We don't need to do a get parent anymore. We can just do this now. Oh, we have the parent here. Oh no, that's our parent. Never mind. Are we setting collector anywhere else? We're not. Okay. So we can always do get node.collectible component to get to go from the collector.inventory component. Maybe we make a function to do that when we need it. Not yet. Let's just make sure that I didn't break anything. Okay, could not parse global class item from item. Item is broken? Why is item broken? Oh, I didn't finish writing this. Okay, so we have the collectible component. And this gives us the player. So at this point, we just need to get the player's health component. Dot collector dot get node health. Calling get node really sucks. Oh wait. Oh, no, I have to. No, this is the server, so I have a thing for this. Object handler dot get dot. Oh, it's because I didn't type this correctly. Dot get what is the function called? Get health component. Dot add health. What was it? This is why I wish I could have overloaded the health component. This is why. So I don't have to remember the function. Add HP. Okay. Let's say 20. And then we should free ourselves. Q free. Okay, we have an item. I should lower my hit points. Player. Where's my health component? Okay, on ready. Health component dot subtract health or dot health equals 30. Let's just do that. All right. All right, I'll go and grab that. Let's use it. We did a thing that we weren't supposed to do. Invalid function, invalid type and function new in base GD script. Did I new wrong? Var command equals this whole junk. This is how you use new, right? I'm not insane. I mean, it looks right. Maybe it's just because we were doing it in a function. And Godot's like, that's a little rich, my friend. I'm sorry, you can't do that. All right, we grab this. Now let's use the use item command. No, we're not doing this right. What is wrong? The object derived class of argument 2 previously freed, is not a subclass of the expected argument class. What? What is wrong? The object derived class of argument 2 previously freed is not a subclass of the expected argument class. What? You know what it could be? You know what it could be? Am I just right-clicking on this twice and I'm an idiot? Item used. Gone now. I would have expected the item to disappear because this spawner should see the item and it's configured to watch the item, and it should propagate. When that item is freed, it should tell every other client, yo, that item's freed, just FYI. We should be getting that for free. So the problem that we might be running into is when that item gets freed, it does not update the UI. And okay, we use the item. Our health did go up. Okay, I was just not. Why is this wrong? This is not our HP. That's not good. This HP bar is correct. This one is not correct. But we did use this and our health went up. So this is a use after free. We'll track that down. Let's first understand this health bar. Why are you not updating? Do you not feel like updating? I thought I connected the signal. Maybe I didn't. Okay. Okay, we're a player. Go in here. Did I never connect the signal? Okay, well, maybe that's the problem. Get node dot some big nonsense. Hold on. Oh, jeez. Can I just pop that in? All right, so we have this dot. Wait a minute. No, this isn't how it works. It should be health component dot. What signal does that emit? It emits the on change signal. Dot connect. And then we call this big function. Hold on, excuse me. Hold on. Please wait. Loading. What was the function on health change? All right, that should fix that. Now the UI should properly register. It looks like it is because our health bar is not full anymore. And if we pick this up and then we drink it, yeah, okay. I'm a little concerned as to why that is not accurate, but I think that's just a case of like the maximum is wrong, because the maximum on this is probably 100. It's not being set by the health component. It would have been smart of me if I had created a function that was like register bar. For dict and get signal connection list on change dict.callable get object. Okay, so I had the idea. The problem is that I am doing it in this ready function and this ready function, children ready before their parents. So this gets called afterwards. So we're connecting it too late. That is not, it's fine. You know what we could do? We could say await parent dot ready. Get parent dot ready. Because we got the right idea there. We just, we're just a little. Ah, there we go. It's fixed. Great. Let me pull out my friend here. Non-existent function add HP in base nil. But we have a health component. No, we absolutely have a health component. That can't be. Okay. Let me try it again. Non-existent. How? What? How did we break this? Are we awaiting forever? Is that what's happening? Okay, this was a good idea. It doesn't work. It was a good idea though. Maybe though we can make a function. Get object. Is there a way when like, do we get a signal when something connects to us? Is there a signal like Godot signal on signal connection? Is there a way to signal on a signal connection? Because that would solve the problem. But that feels a bit extra. I mean, honestly, we should be signaling on this too. We're just not yet. Okay. Let me just read the signal docs real quick. Or actually, Godot, can you catch a signal connection event? I don't trust this. I don't trust this. I want a thing to happen when this gets called, but I don't. Signal bus. For complex scenes, create a singleton to manage global signals. Whatever. What we'll do, in the end, because I don't have time, I would like to stop soon. I'm going to take this function. We're going to go ahead and make it its own thing. Func ready sync connected bars. I mean, this function is cool. Are we sure there isn't like a signal script changed? Notify when the property list is changed. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a way to like on signal, but it's fine. We'll just call this function right there to guarantee that the bars are always synced, and then we'll call it an extra time because we're extra. All right, done. Done. Okay. Now let's solve this final problem. Let's make the item disappear from the UI. That honestly should be happening anyway. It could just be a case. So this is happening on the server. So is there a destructor? Godot destructor. There's a callback called exit tree. You can use the notification callback and check for notification pre-delete notification. Let's try this exit tree function. Func exit tree. Print, yo, I'm exiting the tree. Nice. Hold on. I'm pretty sure if we have two clients connected, we'll see that message 3 times. Yo, I'm exiting the tree. Yes. This is exactly what we want. Okay. I hope. I hope this is exactly what we want. All we need to do now is say, when you were destroyed, check the UI to make sure. Let me actually write this down. Check the UI to, let me write this in the function. We can just, where's the inventory component? We can just get this code. Go back to the item. That is not how you go back to the item. There we go. All right, we don't need this anymore. We don't need this anymore. The item has a collectible component, so it knows. No, that's useless. I want to make sure that I'm only deleting me and not anyone else. So the UI node has that. We've stored that information in the UI node. It's called, this is not it. It's called item and inv. So we get the inventory point. We check, is this us? If it is, clear that item. We've made that function for us too. We're so smart. I keep trying to switch scripts by clicking the scenes. I'll never stop doing that. That's my curse. Okay. If, hold on, wait a second. Where's that? The go away. We have a set item, but that just sets the item. We're not actually updating the texture. Maybe we should be doing that here. Self.texture equals item in inv.texture. Like, does that work? Or is that insane? Go to the inventory component. We did it again. Equals x.getNode sprite2d.texture. Okay, and then now we have one less thing that we need to copy and paste. We don't need to do this anymore. We go over here. We don't need to do this anymore. This is just, we get this for free. Let's go back to the item. If UI node dot item in inv, what did I call that? Why is this open? Yeah, item in inv. Why are you mad? Could not parse global class item. Oh, it's because, okay, yeah. Equals self. Good news, UI node dot clear item. Did this item stop existing? Get it out of the UI. It doesn't exist anymore. Shoot, that didn't work. Why didn't that work? Let's go to our print. Print exiting tree. Print UI node. Print UI node dot item in inv. Print self. All right, we have a lot of prints, just the way I like them. Here we go. Okay, problem. That's null. What is that again? What's the third print line? UI node item in inv. Why is that null? That shouldn't be null. How is that null? Did we how is it in the inventory? Are we not setting it? Oh, I did it again. I tried to change. Let's go to main. Go here. Print item. Oops. I'm the UI and I have item in inv. Okay. We have the item. It exists. It no longer exists. Okay. So this is null. This is already null. Why? Okay. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Set x. Item in inv equals x. Okay. What might be happening is that item is getting deleted during this. So it doesn't actually exist anymore. So we can't check this. So we don't need it. We don't need any of this. We don't need the destructor. We're just gonna rely on when we eat this. Oh, we don't need the destructor. Maybe I should get rid of it then. Smart. Pass. If an item gets freed, does that count as setting it? No, it doesn't. Shoot. Okay. So this is null when we are in the process of deleting this item, which is when this function gets called. So we can't at this point check, is this me? Because we're dead. We don't exist anymore. So what we could do instead is, first of all, get rid of this. No, that's not true. This is being called from the server. So I was hoping that calling this would trigger all of the clients. And that doesn't seem to be happening. No, wait, it is happening. This is getting triggered. It's just maybe what we do instead of this is we have a function in here, check, func check item. If item is null, else texture equals null. And then when the item is destroyed, we go, hey, check your items. Make sure you are up to date. All you UIs out there. Cool. This doesn't need to be in a print. And the item is already, it's being deleted. So all we have to do is just say, hey, check yourself. Didn't work. Shoot. Why must you be so difficult? Print. This function is being called. Print. The item in my inv is item in inv. Okay. Okay, it still exists. It still exists. What? So it exists here, but in the item, it doesn't exist. What the heck? Print UI node dot item in inv. No. Why is this only happening once? Shouldn't this be happening? Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Does this item still exist? Doesn't exist here. Nothing exists there. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist anywhere. Why does... Okay, deep breath, everything's fine. We got the 9 patch rect. It contains an inventory point, and that inventory point is empty. But if we go here, that inventory point contains... Oh, it's also empty. They're both empty. Hold on, let me grab this. Let's go confirm that in the inventory this exists. This should only exist here. Null, yeah, that's what we expect. And null. Okay, so it only exists on the client. Okay. Let's go ahead and grab it now. It's null. It's empty. But if we go look here, it wasn't null when we called that function. So it's null here, but it's not null here. Right. Can someone please explain that to me? Okay, what we could do, this is a little silly, but I think this will be very scalable. Instead of this check item nonsense, what we could do is whenever we set an item, does that item exist? If so, connect to its on death signal or on consumption, on used, on destroyed signal. Let's say on destroyed. And then in this item, we call that function. We say, I'm being destroyed. And then we have a function in here that says, if this item is being destroyed, get rid of it. We don't want it anymore. We don't need this check item stuff. Let's call a signal in item. The only thing we're going to do here is emit that signal. Oh, emit single is not, I have to spell it right? But I thought you were a smart IDE. We go to our IDE, we go to our UI element, and then here, if x x dot connect, nope, x dot on destroyed dot connect. We need to give it a callable item destroyed. Oh, it has to be declared in the current scope. Oh, does it? Item in env equals null. Oh, wait. I can just call clear item. Sure. Also, if x and x is not equal to item. Okay, hold on. If x is not equal to item in env, return, do nothing. We don't want to muck around. Okay. Item in env dot disconnect. Is that how that works? How does disconnect work? Disconnects the signal from the specified callable. Okay. If the connection does not exist, it generates an error. Use is connected to make sure that the connection exists. If item in env dot on destroyed dot So this should just work. So we disconnect from the item in if because we're about to change it. Then we connect to the X, and then probably don't even need this function. We just clear item. All right. Grab this. Instantly crash. Cannot call method get node on a null value. Okay, yeah, no, you're right. I should, that's my bad. If X I think I can pull this out. I think I can just pull this out because we're about to lose item in inv. So if X, then we want to connect to that thing. But if there is no X, else self.texture equals null. We don't make a connection, but we still do this. That should be fine. This should be fine. Everything should be fine. This is all good. Watch this, it'll work. I was right. Okay, great. Let's test it with two dudes. I'll just get that. Okay, now if we right click here, nothing, because we don't have an item. Okay, and one character is healed and the other one is not. Perfect. Okay. Hey, you know what? This works. Done. Done. All right. I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. I have a long plan. I don't know if that will help motivate me into like streaming more. I hope it does, because we're going to implement the inventory, which we just did, and then the use item, and then the message box, and then we'll get mobs moving, and then maybe we'll get some effects in, so it'll be cool. And then we'll have the player have a name, and then we'll have chatting, and then we'll have item slots more than just a single item slot. And then we'll add a bunch of items, and then we'll have a stat sheet, and then maybe we'll have spells, and I don't know, add a second level, and have non-item containers, like a chest on the ground. And then we'll have all this other stuff, and who knows? Having that written down maybe will focus me more. That's the hope. If not, then oh well. Short stream, but it was not an unproductive stream. Okay. I clicked the button, but nothing happened. I'm trying to raid, but it appears to be broken. I don't get it. That's fine. Thanks everyone for watching. No raid. It's all good. We'll stream again. I don't know. I'll stream Sunday for sure. Before then, I don't know. It's just a what I might do is stream more Legend of Grimrock. So I'll probably stream. I may not stream this. I promised myself I would do that if I needed motivation. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you had a good time. Hope things are well for you. Play lots of games, y'all. Bye, everybody.